Hey everyone, Dai Ba here. Today, we're continuing with the American series Off Campus. To help you jump back into the story, here's a quick recap of what happened last time. Garrett and Hannah turned their fake relationship into a sweet romance neither of them expected. After breaking up with Sean, Allie found herself caught in a complicated relationship with Dean. She was torn by guilt, yet unable to resist the chemistry between them. When Hannah learned that Garrett's game the next day was against St. Anthony's, Aaron Delaney's team, she was pushed close to her breaking point. Hannah worried that if Garrett knew the whole truth, he wouldn't be able to keep his cool. She wasn't afraid Garrett would reject her, but that he'd do something reckless trying to protect her. The story flashes back to Hannah's high school years. Back then, she played in the school band, and her father was the music teacher. Hannah's family had once been very happy, until one party ended with her being drugged and sexually assaulted. Before the game, Garrett runs into Phil at the rink, bringing painful childhood memories rushing back. His emotions immediately spiral out of control. Garrett texts Hannah, hoping to see her before the game. To Garrett, Hannah is like a switch that helps calm him down. She can't erase the wounds from his childhood, but she always makes him feel safer. But while trying to steady Garrett, Hannah is pulled back into the same flood of memories she has spent years trying to escape. Even after going through therapy and learning to face parts of her past, Hannah still can't stay calm when she sees Aaron again. Hannah doesn't answer Garrett's messages, and he keeps making mistakes on the ice. Every new text lighting up her phone feels like another alarm bell, reminding Hannah that she can't keep running forever. Hannah goes to the music room to find David. In her current state, Hannah feels like she has almost no chance at the pop showcase, and may not even be able to return next semester. She's grateful that throughout her time at school, David has always been there to support her. Even if she has to leave school, Hannah wants to stay in touch, and asks him not to worry too much about her. Realizing that Hannah is falling apart, David urges her to say out loud what scares her most. Up to this point, every time Hannah has revealed one of her secrets, things have seemed to get worse. She's afraid her past will keep hurting her friends, her family, and the person she loves. But David's advice helps Hannah find her courage again. Hannah walks into the rink with a smile, and finds Garrett so anxious he's barely holding it together. One look at how tense he is, and she knows Phil has just shown up. Hannah's presence helps Garrett regain his calm and confidence, but that intimate moment catches Aaron's eye from across the rink. The game begins. Once he gets his head back in the game, Garrett comes out playing aggressively, then scores a beautiful goal for Briar. His confidence surges, and it looks like the home team has the win in hand. When Aaron calls Hannah a liar, Garrett immediately realizes who he is. He loses control and attacks Aaron right there on the ice. The fight gets Garrett ejected for the rest of the game, while the athletic board will decide any further discipline. After the game, Phil goes looking for Garrett. Instead of criticizing him, he actually seems pleased with what his son did. To Phil, what just happened is how the old generation played hockey: hard, bloody, and without hesitation. Phil knows the athletic board won't let it slide, but tells Garrett not to worry. He claims he'll use his influence to take care of everything behind the scenes. As far as he's concerned, no one gets to stop Garrett from playing. But Garrett isn't grateful at all for his father's offer to step in. He doesn't want the Graham name to become a privilege that lets him beat someone up on the ice, then hide behind Phil's influence to bend the rules and escape the consequences. That's exactly what the tattoo on Garrett's back stands for. He doesn't want special treatment, and is ready to take responsibility for what he did. Hannah anxiously waits for Garrett outside the arena. From the outside, it looks like they're arguing, but they're really just worried about each other. Hannah doesn't want Garrett to lose control because of what happened to her. Garrett, meanwhile, is afraid his anger will make Hannah feel unsafe around him. He's terrified that he'll eventually become just like Phil. After Garrett breaks up with her, Hannah calls her mother in tears. She believes she has ruined everything because of Hannah's story. Garrett fought on the ice, got suspended, and ultimately chose to walk away from her. Hannah also believes she has lost any chance of support from the pop showcase. She puts all the blame on herself. What happened in high school used up her family's entire savings, cost her father his job, and left her believing every consequence was her fault. But Hannah's mother firmly rejects that idea. Her daughter simply went to a party and did absolutely nothing wrong. Meanwhile, after Sean learns about Dean, Allie is consumed by guilt. Sean argues that Allie can't stand being single because she jumped into someone else's bed right after their breakup. Even so, Allie still denies that she has real feelings for Dean. She says they just need each other and have only slept together a few times. To prove this isn't love, Allie suggests they each find a stranger and have a no-strings-attached hookup as a test of what their relationship really is. Even though neither of them is truly ready, Allie and Dean share a deep kiss that feels like goodbye. After that impulsive moment, they decide to stop. They both sink into the pain of heartbreak, lying alone in their rooms, and accidentally playing the same song. The lyrics are about being willing to lose yourself, to become part of the world of the person you love, while that person never understands the intensity of your feelings or the longing you've kept buried. The song perfectly mirrors what both of them are going through. They still love each other, but believe they have no choice but to stay apart. The show handles that change surprisingly well. When Allie was around, Dean always kept his room neat. He even folded her clothes and placed them carefully beside the bed. Now everything is thrown everywhere because Dean can't bring himself to care. The two of them were once heading in the same direction, but now they can't walk the same path. They're like two parallel lines, always moving side by side, yet forever separated by the same distance, close enough to hear each other, but never close enough to touch. At Malone's, Hannah hears a rumor. Garrett supposedly warned every guy on campus not to go anywhere near her, unless they wanted to take a punch from him. The rumor makes Hannah furious. She storms straight to the ring, and walks into the locker room showers to find Garrett. She doesn't care how awkward it looks. She only wants to confront him directly about the threat spreading all over campus. The moment she sees Garrett, Hannah tells him he crossed a line by trying to keep other people away from her. Garrett is completely confused. He insists he never said anything like that, and would never try to control her. The novel includes a similar moment, but the more possessive edge has been reframed in the show as a distorted rumor. The important point is that Garrett's violent image makes the story easy for everyone to believe. Once the misunderstanding is cleared up, Hannah learns Garrett is dressed formally because he's heading to an athletic board hearing, where his final punishment will be decided. Garrett has already been suspended for the fight, but at the worst possible moment, video surfaces of him practicing with a professional team. That violates the rules governing amateur eligibility. Under those rules, a college player cannot participate in a professional team's practice. The final ruling is that Breyer must vacate several wins from the season. The coach isn't angry about the decision. He wants Garrett to understand the real reason he attacked someone on the ice. He wants to coach a player who truly loves hockey, not someone who plays with reckless anger. He tells Garrett to think carefully about whether he still genuinely loves the sport. Back at the dorm, Hannah has finished all of her assignments, her classes, and her final exams. She collapses onto the couch, but there's still no happiness on her face. Allie isn't doing much better, because she still hasn't completed her relationship assignment. Even now, Allie doesn't know whether what she has with Dean is actually love. Deep down, Hannah hopes the rumor means Garrett still cares, even though she refuses to let anyone control her. Allie tells Hannah to get some sleep, or do something she loves to take her mind off the pain. But then Allie herself climbs out the window to find Dean. She wants an answer about what they are, just a good time, or something that has become real love. Under Allie's plan, they'll both try being with someone else to prove this isn't love, just a casual physical relationship with no commitment. That night, Hannah sits in her room and plays a song she wrote in high school. The melody immediately catches Allie's attention. It's far more honest than the version Justin kept changing. Allie encourages Hannah to perform that song at the pop showcase. Hannah finally tells her why she wrote it. For years, Hannah has said that a friend from high school was drugged and sexually assaulted at a party, but that friend was actually Hannah herself. Allie had already figured out the truth, but never brought it up first. She respected Hannah's right to share when she was ready, accepting her vulnerability, her anxiety, and all the fears she carried. Allie never looks at Hannah with pity. Instead, she keeps encouraging her to pursue music and love on her own terms. A beautiful friendship between two women doesn't always need grand speeches. Sometimes it's about protecting each other's deepest secret, making room for pain that still can't be put into words, and always showing up when the other person needs somewhere to lean. With Allie's encouragement, Hannah rediscovers her inspiration and confidence as a songwriter. She goes to Jules and asks them to record the sound of hockey sticks clashing, along with skate blades cutting across the ice. At the rink, Hannah also sees Garrett sitting there alone. After every team practice, he comes back out and skates a few extra laps by himself. Hannah walks over to Garrett. It's the first real conversation they've had since the breakup. Garrett admits he wants to quit hockey, because he no longer knows why he keeps playing. For years, he has focused on playing well just to prove he's nothing like Phil, instead of listening to what he actually wants. But Hannah's encouragement helps Garrett remember the honest reason he fell in love with hockey in the first place. When he gets home, Garrett finds Logan, and apologizes for everything. Losing control has thrown the entire team into a serious crisis. Garrett also tells Logan the secret he has kept buried for years. Meanwhile, Dean is facing a crisis of his own. He agreed with Allie that they'd both find someone else to complete their assignment, but now Allie is the only person Dean can think about, and he can't bring himself to be with anyone else. A guy who once loved playing the field suddenly wants only one person, because Dean has genuinely fallen in love with Allie, and for him, that realization isn't frightening at all. After years of casual hookup, Dean has finally found love. He can face almost anything head-on, but he still lacks the courage to face his own feelings. Bo has seen through their relationship for a long time. It's obvious Dean no longer wants something purely physical. Bo tells his friend to make a move, close the last bit of distance between them, and tell Allie exactly how he feels. After class, Allie gets a call from Dean. The ringtone makes her feel like an assignment is suddenly due, so she can't bring herself to answer. Just then, she spots Carter St. James out for a run, looking especially attractive. Allie immediately calls Carter over. She decides a stranger like him is perfect for the test. Before the game, Garrett walks into the locker room, and willingly hands the captain's patch to Logan. He believes Logan is the one who deserves to lead the team now. Logan accepts the patch, marking the moment the two friends finally make peace. Elsewhere, Hannah looks at the first song she has truly finished, and feels an overwhelming need to share it. She can't wait for people to hear what she created. At this point, Hannah no longer cares much about the ranking. She finds David, and asks for another chance to take the stage. The truth is, David never removed Hannah from the lineup. He has always known she is a talented artist. David tells Hannah to warm up, because she's the next performer. Hannah immediately calls Allie with the news. At that moment, Allie is still lying in Carter's bed. She quickly sits up, gets dressed, and calls Dean, asking him to bring Garrett to Hannah's performance. As far as Allie is concerned, those two obviously belong together, and should NT stay apart just because they're scared. Inside the auditorium, Hannah slowly walks onto the stage, opens her notebook, and introduces a song written for the girl she used to be. The song is called Girl That I Am. The room erupts in applause, the most beautiful response Hannah could have hoped for. When Hannah steps out of the auditorium, Garrett walks up and apologizes. He wants to learn how to be brave like her, face his own wounds, and move forward with Hannah in the days ahead. After spending time apart, their relationship comes back stronger. Allie runs over to congratulate Hannah. She may not have won first place, but second place is still an incredible result, and it even earns her a paid internship. When Dean sees Allie enter the bar, he gathers the courage to tell her that he never completed their assignment. But in a cruel twist, Allie announces that she completed hers. Right then, Hunter suddenly walks in. Allie is caught in the middle of Dean and Hunter's confrontation, so overwhelmed she wishes she could disappear. When Dean steps forward to confront him, he learns that Hunter isn't just the guy Allie picked for the assignment, but also the new player Logan invited to join the Briar team. More importantly, Hunter and Dean have a tense history together. The moment they see each other, the room turns electric. After only a few words, the two of them start fighting. The chaotic brawl brings the first season of Off Campus to a close, and that's where season 1 leaves us. Like I said at the beginning, Hannah isn't a naive or flawless heroine, and Garrett isn't some domineering alpha male lead. He's just a regular person learning respect and accountability. Garrett may look carefree on the outside, but underneath, he's thoughtful and gentle. Hannah and Allie's friendship avoids tired rivalry cliches, and the guys on the hockey team aren't just there as background characters. Each of them is finding their own way to deal with the complications of becoming an adult. Aside from the clearly abusive behavior, many conflicts between adults can't be reduced to simple love or hate, because contradictory emotions can exist at the same time. The show doesn't turn love into a perfect fairy tale. Instead, it presents love for what it really is: complicated, but still worth believing in. It lets us believe in love, without asking us to be blind. It shows us the beauty of love, while refusing to hide the price that sometimes comes with that beauty. In the end, honesty is still the best way to reach another person. What did you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every one of them. Die Ba here. See you in the next recap. Take care, everyone.